Mifra Nurodo, also known as Dagger, is my second opponent in the second week of the 32nd Grand Arena season. And this time he attacked, like cleared one team, so I think I can show you also the defense team and how it stands as of now. And I just jump right into it. So this is the north wall, nothing too concerning there. On the south wall, we have a little bit more as per usual. So yeah, seeing 1.5 GLs there plus gas, so in some maybe 2 GLs, like if you want to go by the worth of teams. And so I thought I start on the south wall, this time again with Iden versus CLS, and instead of going for 2PO like it in the past, I went directly for Commander Luke Skywalker. I think I had a cooldown decrease Datacron, so per debuffs, and so Iden got to go again, took out CLS, and then it was pretty much not game over for the other team, but close. Of course, this does nothing because of blind, but yeah, just a question of time before 2PO will also fall to the power of the Empire. Just kidding, just yeah. I mean, he puts up good fight, as you can see, because of blind and also confusion that comes into play. It can be annoying and might steal some banners there, but once you get to the point where you can get your second special off from Iden, you essentially gain all the things back, but also because of the assists of C3PO, so there is a passive healing going on anyway. So eventually got 2PO out of the match and started with a full banner. Clear of that team, then went for the Qui-Gon Jinn team. It's always a little bit, yeah, interesting how this goes down, depending on the speeds of the Jedi and your own speeds, of course. There's a good chance or there's a bad chance if they are like kind of fastish and your Echo is still outspeeding them, but your tech isn't fast enough to catch up and they jump in between, even though you gained turn meter. It can get super dicey, and then usually you have to land the second stun on this guy, on JKA, and if this doesn't happen, you're usually in for a rough ride, which often results in a loss. This time, got a stun, got him out, but then you also have to deal with this Kiadimandi, and as I said, like in the past video, I think Freeze now with this team, they're all almost always married to each other. It also makes sense to apply the what is it? The Omega, not Omicron. The Omega to the ability that gives Tip the Taunt to Kiadimandi. Because very often if you have to clean them up and just Qui-Gon Jinn is gone and there is a taunt constantly coming up from him, it's hard to go for JKA, and then it is a nightmare. So then I went for this Lord Vader team, which I this time, yeah, tried to go against with, as you can see, Fennec, and it was dicey. Fennec was almost out, but luckily the threshold of damage was figured where Bam jumps in and just saves her. This is always the risk you're taking when you go and freeze against a team, Lord Vader team with Maul, and depending on the Lord Vader comp, even then it's not. It's super dicey, not just dicey, but super dicey. This time I got a little bit lucky, took out Maul, so then can take out Royal Guard, but also can take out Lord Vader. I have the cooldown reset Datacron on Bam. I also have the one where he basically does more damage on his birds, but I only used it in Arena once. It's great for taking out Lord Vader in 5s. With Maul, that is. With Fennec, you don't, not so much, because for that you just want to have this constant spam of damage in Unity. And as you can see, just keep her alive, and Lord Vader does his thing, but no problem, can take him out, and even Grease Grief was alive, and usually he's the one who goes down at some point. So then for the gas team, I was thinking I should try Dash. I think I've seen a video where Dash can solo the teams in 5s, but in 3s it's, yeah, a little bit dicey, I'd say. So I want to go safe and take in one unit that reduces the damage, which is the damage I have to take, which is Gwendor and the tank. So that's why these two are here. But This was quite an impressive datacron as well on this gas, so didn't really help, and I had to, yeah, live with a loss, unfortunately. But I still wanted to try what we can do, and as you can see, like gas is still very strong, and also that he denies revives also plays a huge role in that. But at least I got out the sides, and then I thought, I can clean this up. But as always, in freeze, especially when you're fighting against those not Galactic Legend, but great characters such as Gas, you try to not overshoot it. So as a cleanup, so you always try to find the right balance, and usually this results in like a loss, like this, or yeah, you get super lucky with a team, but usually you have to still take in something strong to take out the team. That's why you always have to think about, if you have a counter, is it like, how many percent is it? Is it like 70%? And you have a counter that is like 90%. So potentially just taking the 90% and have a one shot that is more expensive than having to like waste a lot of good teams on it, and eventually having to take 270% counters in the end anyway. Then eventually I went for Padme, which I thought should be good enough because of courage. And also the stun capabilities that Padme has, and also the healing from this little fella here. And as you can see, whittling down, and then Courage takes out Gas. So yeah, I should have brought in his wife earlier, maybe she would. Yeah, anyway. We're in the Malgus battle now, which is, again, you see like Relic 9, Malgus and Relic 9 Malak. I also have them both Relic 9, so it's, I wouldn't say it's standard, but it's quite a combo, Relic 9 combo you see quite often, like in the quote-unquote end game, whatever that means. And so you want to take in something strong, and especially with the Datacron on Malgus, which usually is the good one that people have. You almost always need a Galactic Legend. Not always, but most likely. There are off counters available, but still, it's just an annoying team. And here I took in the, yeah, I don't know, I think it's the best team, at least in freeze, against this comp. Of course, you can also take in Ward and a tank or like whatever alongside of Kylo Ren, but I think this is the best version or the best way to take him out. And for decent banners as well. Then I believe this is a north wall battle, if I'm not mistaken, or might be a back wall battle, or is it front wall? I'm lost. Yeah, damage, immunity, Datacron on Redis, but isn't really a problem for CLS because he can just dispel it once he got his his first special available, and then you essentially just have to go with the flow. Take out Redis ideally first, second would be Iden, and then the tank. What also is nice in this team, you have blind or above dispel, so with that as well, so eventually you could also get off like the damage immunity on the whole team earlier. But in this case, didn't need it, 56 banners, so that was easy enough. Then back wall battle, I think it was a back wall battle. Yeah, there were 3 GLs on the back wall. One of them is this guy with his younger former self, and that was weird because younger and former was almost the same thing in that context. Anyway, and Cat, of course. So I tried one team that can clear JMK in freeze if Maze is around and not this guy, GK. But I still wanted to try it, and it wasn't looking too bad. Except it was looking bad. So Django is there just to take the initial hit from Cat because he comes back. And usually you want to get the 3 stacks of the armor Beskar on Maul, so he counters constantly, gets up his anguish stacks, and then goes back to 5s, and then you can essentially take out the characters. But didn't happen, so I decided there with a loss on the back wall, which is always bad, especially when it's Galactic Legend and you took in a very strong team of your own. But yeah, still kept going. This is I think this was called Social Contract Team at some point. So Hugh plays the Bang Bros, the oops, the handbag bros on defense, and what you take on offense is Han, Chewie, and whatever leader they have available. So this is what happened here. Maybe a fun nostalgia moment. Then this comp was heavily used in Freeze, I think the last season or recent season at least, recent seasons at least, and can be a menace because of the bonuses from Zam, but as you can see, if you outspeed the team, it's not really an issue, which I did, and with Troopers of course. Troopers are like coming clutch quite often these days, like more on that in following videos. Then also team you see a lot, as I mentioned in the last video, I think, that usually people, if they have those guys, guys and girls, they usually split off like Grand Inquisitor and those two, 7th and 9th, because they are the strongest, I'd say, or have the best synergy as a trio. What is the English term for that? In German it's trio. I don't know. And the other guys, the leftover, you have then 5th brother, 8, and what is the 3rd? Was it 3rd? No, 2nd sister. Sorry. Oh god. That make up the other team, which is a bigger team, maybe better for offense. And yep, for this team I used Treya, just isolate that guy for whatever reason, so he doesn't heal back up or he health equalizes. I'm not even sure if isolate can prevent that, but anyway, took out the team, not a big issue. Then an annoying team, which I also used to place in the past, Nest with those little fellas, or the little fella and the droid with the little fella. And the annoying thing about this, there is no lead of course, but you still have great synergies between these characters, such as that Nest ignores taunt, that then there's Daze, there is healing, there is foresight, and all the fun stuff that make matches a hell, especially when you hit people to get a contract, right? So this is why Bosk is here, like Bosk lead. But once you get a contract, it's pretty much game over for the team, because then you can snipe out people left and right, except Nest would dispel you. Which she didn't in this case. Why didn't she remove the buffs? I'm not sure. Is this a bug? I don't know. Still not a contract, so takes a while with Bosk at times, because it always jumps around, which is one of the downsides of his contract, of course. But close. I'm very close. Now I get it. In this case, and yep, Bosk also taunts again, so no problem there. Taking out Nest. And it's weird, I had a feeling that Nest didn't dispel my buffs. Did I miss something? Or did they change the kit of Mando? I had the impression it always worked when you had like crit chance up or something, that you can snipe people. Weird. Maybe some of you know, or maybe I did miss something because I didn't have all the buffs displayed. Yeah, anyway, it was weird. But took out the team, so that was nice. Then there was this Grievous comp, which is an interesting comp because you have, of course, another bash of Terminator you get from BB-8. You have great synergy with R2, potential stuns, tenacity down, and some hit targets to keep Grievous alive. But then again, I'm sure like there is no real benefit for Grievous, like extra health or something. That's why I think it's a great team. It has a great start, can potentially become a threat with the initial barrage, but then again, it doesn't really do much beyond that. So it wasn't really scary, so to say, to go against it. And yeah, Monmouth might feel okay, which is the classical or the classic comp for Freeze, which is with K2 and Cassian, which is Relic 8 for most people now. Anyway, so this is the match which I want to talk about the most, actually, because there was this GL on defense, and I didn't have my Darth Vader available because I had other plans for him. And so I was thinking, so what lead do I take from my Starkiller? And I had Darth Revan available because I changed my defense in that way that Darth Revan just was the odd one left out. And so I was thinking, yeah, why not just try it? And the good thing is you have Fear, which always helps. You have the other bonuses, which makes Darth Revan kind of scary. Again, Fear coming in clutch here, so it also helps to slow down the contract a little bit, or at least not getting smashed by the people. The downside is, of course, you don't really have the option to use all the specials from Starkiller right away, because he might most likely will be ability blocked. But once you do, because there's so many buffs from going around because of GMK, you can take him out with the second special easy enough. And then I got my ults, took out Jolie, and then I was like, oh, I guess this will be a one-shot. This is nice. And also for decent banners in this case, because yeah, Mace was in damage immunity, because I used the second special there to take out GMY. There's more to that team, but more later. I looked it up in the history of last round, and apparently I was the only person in the whole game using that comp, and so that's quite fun. If you want to look it up, you can do it like just on Star Wars GalaxyFieldverse.gg. Yeah, so then versus this Ray, I knew it was super dicey to take in Vader, because there is this girl hanging around, and she's bugged, of course. So dots essentially just feed at her meter, and if you're having trouble keeping up with your cycles, you can cut in the way and then make it super dicey. And now it's just a question of can I get again in Mercer's Massacre and go back into a loop, or how does it look like? And unfortunately it didn't happen, and so I got taken out. What also was interesting, I felt that the dots were falling off of Ray, but I think this is always the case when she's an ultimate, that all likely the negative statuses are just not so shown anymore, because they should have been there. Backwall fight, annoying dash team, and this is more like a brain fart, because it worked once for me in 5s, going against a dash team with Wampa. And what he does usually is just, he doesn't open with his AoE, he opens with his like stun attempt. If this doesn't land, you're usually good to go. His debuffs are unavoidable anyway, but doesn't that matter that much, because Wampa usually can take out the team anyway. But in this case, there was too much damage going on, especially if the bonus turns the dash gets after the Wampa's turn, where he has more offense, and so it was stupid. So then another stupid attempt, because Daze does no good for Grievous. And Grievous usually is the great character to clean up anything in this game. Yeah. So then tried Bounty Hunters with Dengar, because he has quite an easy contract to get. And he also offers a little bit of survivability with his lead. But yeah, apparently the lead didn't work that much. It went well. And then I thought maybe I flipped the tables and used the comp that I had to play against this team as well, hoping that Nest would get off a big hit on first Vendor, especially dispelling all the buffs he has, so I can make more damage. And secondly, he just dies to dots, it was also an option. And secondly, then taking out the rest of the team. But I wasn't sure how well versed Nest is against Dash. I didn't try it before, so there was a chance, because he was quite low. After I hit him, I wasn't really sure what to do, but then she's stunned, and yeah, then it's pretty much game over for her. Yeah, as you can see here. So I lost that one, and then I have to clean up the team, and that's annoying, especially when there's a tank. A little bit more offense on my Spirit would have helped here, but apparently not. So took in droids, like it's just throwing in like my leftover characters. Not really leftover, but the ones you have. Then had a chance to take out L3, which I took, and so Dash was the only one left, so it's now my roster against Dash, as it seems. And I eventually took in those guys. The team I mentioned before, but I use it on offense instead of having set on defense. The nice thing about it is you have Expose, you can remove turn meter, which doesn't really help against Dash in that case, or you can just take out Dash. I still had one GL left available for offense, which was Ray. And so I tried to take her against this fella here, and then dwindle down his own Ray with the rest of my roster. So the idea was to mark Cat, to whirlwind her, and then work on the rest of the team. Unfortunately, she was a little bit too high on health, so she ended up in red, and so I also timed it badly. And so yeah, I lost JKR another time, lost my Ray, and so yeah, couldn't clear this team, which was unfortunate, because now I had nothing left. The only team I had left, I wanted to try on this team, which is JKL, Basti lead, of course, as you can see, and Shaq for the offense. But I also could have brought in Hoda, which I also had available still, just to buff JKL with, is it Master Training, right? That's the name of the thing. And there's a chance, because JKL, like if you have a data on him, which will expire soon, so all the glory of JKL will be removed again. And to be honest, like with this Datacron, I felt like he was at the power level he should be as a character in this game. Vader is a little bit over the top right now, but I think for JKL it was just fitting somehow. That was my expression at least. Yeah, lost it and then gave up on the round. Just tried to clear ships and to get good banners and see what my opponent will be doing, because I had a very tough defense down. As you can see, like I had 2 GLs on offense, so that means I have 4 on defense in this case, plus some other goodies. Yeah, and in this case, again, Radus, no, like Profundity is just the most annoying thing they did to this game. Next to Malgus and Malak, like, why Star Wars creators? Why do you have those stupid names? Just be more like, you know, why isn't there a Peter or something, you know? Like, call the shift Peter from now on. Okay, Peter against Executor. So, yeah, this fleet is still a mystery to me, like, but I guess I'm trying to keep it like very low on investment in terms of ships that I'm using, but usually if you don't get like the opening kills with it, like on the ship where it matters, which is usually 700 blood, you lose, or it will be a super rocky battle. And this all depends on RNG, like you get the good RNG, you get the bad RNG in terms of assisting and whatever. So that's a little bit annoying. And chips is annoying anyway because of all the dodges, but yeah, in this case, I got some okayish RNG, despite having an unusual comp there. Got to my ultimate, so the cap ship was gone and then could take out the rest of the team. I wonder, will the cap ship be gone if you lose them? Is it like with Redus? When you take out the capital ship, or like with the Executor fleet, it is just gone? Or will it come back after it chased Leia? Not sure. Then, again, turning things around, taking Executor on offense just to take out the Peter fleet. And in this case, you just hammer down the engine, or like the most annoying ship in this case, which is this fella. And then just, yeah, go with the flow. Try to keep a ship alive, ships alive, which didn't happen for my RC. I ignored the capabilities to heal it for too long. And what was interesting about this fleet, there wasn't a Millennium Falcon. I guess this opponent, Dagger, just tries to keep 2 fleets intact. Because I think their Ravenclaw, I'm not sure if it was 7 stars, I didn't check it actually. But it's maybe not up to par, like to make huge moves with the rebels left over home 1 fleet. So not sure. But still, it was yeah, challenging enough taking it out. And then the last battle in this match is finally again Finalizer against Negotiator. I mentioned that I used it in the past quite often, and now I finally decided, oh, why not? Just go for it. So what you do to just bring Hunted on this guy, on Anakin, so he doesn't gain the turn meter. And then what you also do is just like hammer in the lowish yellow. So the first thing that Negotiator will do isn't it's the second life instead of like the AoE. And then you bring an Ebon Hawk and hope and pray that you land buff immunity on him, so he doesn't go into stealth after he dies. So Anakin, that is. And then you just have to go around the taunt, and with the next move, then you can essentially take out him, like Anakin, if there isn't a taunt popping up again. But usually there are ways around it. You can dispel the taunt, or you buff your silencer and just take out the taunting ship, put it like that, and then at this point silencer is ramping up damage so much that I took out JKA. That was wrong English, it should have been like ramped up damage so that I could take out Anyway, back to the fight. With the win condition being out, it's pretty much under control. Also, the AoE is out, so no more dazes there available for the opposing fleet, which is, I think, the biggest threat to the finalizer fleet these days, I believe. Yeah, so in this case, bad banners, but it was a one-shot. And this is also the end result of the match, because my opponent just decided to not attack further. But he also mentioned to me that he doesn't like freeze so much. So yeah, that's that. Next round will be against Pimpo, so looking forward to that. Thanks for watching and see you then. Bye.